Welcome to Blue Collar Ballistics. My name's Josh. Today we're going to be talking about concealed carry handguns and which is the best. Well, the answer to that is it's going to depend on the person. There's different handguns out there, going to be different sizes of people out there, different circumstances, so there's going to be a lot of different reasons to carry different ones at different times. Today I have four here. I've got a Glock 19, it's a 9mm. I got a SIG P290, it's a 9mm as well. I've got a Ruger LCP 380, that's a 380 caliber, and then I got a 357, a Charter Arms 357 bug nose there. The one that I carry the most is going to be the Glock 19. Part of that is I'm a bigger guy. I've got a holster that keeps it nice and tight against my body. I can keep it concealed really well. The SIG 290, I really like it. When I've carried it the most, I've kind of carried it appendix and it's a little bit heavier gun for a small gun like that, but it is pretty small, and for the size, it's actually a pretty accurate gun. You can see how small that is. The one that I used to carry the most before I got my Glock 19 was the Ruger LCP 380. It is really small, and that's the reason that I carry it so much. As far as shooting something small like this, they're not real fun to shoot. They're not real comfortable to shoot. The smaller a gun is, you're not as accurate with it. This one here, the sights are just kind of built into the top rail, just built into the slide on the gun, so you can't adjust it or anything like that. But the shorter the gun, the harder it is to be right on target every time. So you're gonna have a little bit bigger spread when you're a bigger group when you're shooting. Anyway, the reason I carried this one here so much, it is so small. There's so many different ways you can carry it. Another video we're going to do down the road here is on holsters, and each of these guns I can carry with different holsters. There's a few of them that I like to carry with this one here. There's one for inside the waistband. It's an appendix holster. Inside the waistband. I've got what they call a wallet holster for this, which is really nice, makes it look like a wallet in your pocket. And I could wear it with shorts. I can just throw it in my pocket. It looks like I have a wallet in there. So the reason I like this one so much, it's so versatile and it can be carried so many different ways. Now, I know a lot of people that carry revolvers. I do not carry a revolver concealed. The biggest reason for that is I'm limited to 5 rounds in this one here. And they don't, they take a little bit longer to change mags. The other ones I can carry extra mags in either another mag pouch or in a pocket. If you're going to carry reloadable cylinders and stuff, they're a little bit more bulky than, say, a magazine for one of the semi-autos. With that magazine, it makes it a little bit thicker. It looks like it even makes it a little thicker than my Glock, even though the frame on the Glock is a little bit bigger. But I'm not a real big fan of revolvers, but they do have their purpose. With that said, like say each of these guns, they don't, like you can see how they fit in my hand. This one here, I get 2 fingers on it and that is it. I'm not too far off with the SIG. I got 2 fingers on it, but it sticks out just a little bit more. And then the Glock 19, I can get all of my fingers on there. I have big hands, so the size of the hand grip makes a big difference to me. What I do a lot of times, so like say with this here, I will carry with this magazine in it. And then for a backup magazine, if I ever need it, I've got one with an extended mag so it sticks out just a little bit further. I can get all my fingers on there. So I've got an extended mag for my Ruger as well as a SIG. The Glock, I don't need one, and I can't get one for the revolver. So with these handguns, what makes them a good concealed carry gun isn't always just how it shoots or the size. Like this one here, I said I've got a couple different holsters for it. And those will help dictate whether I can carry it or not. I can carry it with lighter clothes and with shorts. And a lot of times what you're wearing makes a huge difference on what you're carrying. If I'm wearing some tight, light colored clothes, I'm not going to be able to carry this gun here. This, I've got to have some baggy clothes on, something a little bit bigger that is going to conceal it. Because when you're carrying concealed, the last thing you want is somebody to see that gun, for it to print through your clothes, or when you bend over, for it to come up where they see the gun underneath your shirt, because your shirt pulled up when you bend over. And what you wear makes a big difference with concealed carry. So backing up just a little bit, let's see, I got huge hands, so that's why I say this other gun here fits my hands so much better than these smaller guns. But there's going to be people out there, smaller guys, there's going to be women, there's going to be all kinds of people out there that are different sizes. They're going to have smaller hands, some are going to have bigger hands than me even, and that'll make a big difference what they can carry. Like when I carry this here, Ruger, I can barely get 2 fingers on there. It's only like 1 3/4 fingers on there. And when you go to shoot something with only 1 3/4 fingers on there, it's going to kind of kick in your hand a little bit because you don't have a very good grip on it. And then in my case there, I feel the trigger guard hitting my finger more. There's a lot of different aspects to that. You know, I think one gun is better than none. So if you got a 22 and you're going to carry that, it's better than nothing. I know it's been a number of years ago, I read a study done by the FBI comparing the 9mm and the 40 caliber, and this was in reference to the FBI and basically law enforcement carrying a handgun, not so much towards concealed carry, but comparing between the 2 calibers. And they decided that the 9 was better than the 40 for a number of reasons. And so this here can kind of transfer over to, most of it can transfer over to different calibers as well. But the 9mm did, the difference in damage between a 9mm and a 40 caliber was minimal. They both did fairly close to the same amount of damage when they were used. With that said, when you're shooting a 40 caliber, it's going to kick. It's got a lot more power than a 9mm, so it kicks a lot more when you're shooting it. So they like the 9mm because it didn't kick as much, and so you could be on target a lot quicker for your second and subsequent shots. So you got the amount of damage that they do, the number of rounds that you can carry in the gun, and then you also have the ability to be on target a lot quicker with a smaller caliber than you do with the bigger caliber. The 357 I don't believe is necessary for concealed carry. It's not going to hurt anything if you can handle the gun and you can carry it. But the smaller caliber, like the 9mm, I think is a better way to go. The 380, it's getting to be a lot smaller round. 380 and 22, they're not going to do as much damage as your 9mm per se. But like I said, that's still better than nothing. This here Ruger LCP 380, I did carry that for quite a while, and so I've carried a 380. Just because it's not going to be as powerful or do as much damage, it is a form of protection. It will hurt somebody. It will get somebody to back off you, to leave you alone. You will be able to stop a threat with it, so long as you do it with the amount of ammo that you got. Every situation is going to be different. I hope nobody that's listening, I hope nobody has to use any of these guns for self-defense. I hate to, we all train for it, we practice for it, so that we can be proficient, and when the time comes, we can use it if we have it. But I hope that time never comes for everybody, because I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want you to be in that situation. But if you are, it'd be great to be prepared. And like I said, there's not a definite answer on which gun is the best for concealed carry, but today I brought you out 4 different ones to show you. You can check out and a few different reasons for them. But with that said, the next time we talk about concealed carry, I'd like to bring some holsters out and show you a number of different holsters out there and the different ways that you can carry them, which will help you decide more what's good for carrying concealed as far as a firearm goes. Because your holster and your gun both are going to determine what you're carrying, or whether you can carry or not, as well as what you're wearing. So there's a lot of different ammo that you can carry concealed with, a lot of different ammo you can shoot out there. A lot of people are going to buy Full Metal Jacket for practice for target shooting because it's a lot cheaper than your defensive ammo. When I say defensive ammo, it's going to be, I'm talking about something that does more damage when it hits. There are different rounds, like say a hollow point. There's some critical defense that Hornady has. It's got like a rubber piece in the end. It's basically a hollow point with rubber in the end, and it helps it to open up when it hits something, so that it does more damage when it hits. Full Metal Jacket is got a metal jacket around the whole thing, just like it says. And so when it hits, it's not likely to open up. It continues to travel through till it hits something solid, and then it stops. But with like a lot of your self-defense rounds, there's some mechanism in them, whether it's just being open in the center and having notches in the side, so when it hits, it spreads, or it's going to have something in the center, it pushes down in the center to help it spread. But there's going to be something about it that's going to help it spread to do more damage when it hits. And when you're carrying concealed, you're going to want to carry a self-defense round so that it'll do the most damage when it hits. If you're carrying Full Metal Jacket, there's even a chance with self-defense rounds that it could go all the way through somebody. But more likely than not, a Full Metal Jacket is going to go right through somebody, and it's not going to do a whole lot of damage, and you might need more rounds to stop your attacker. So you want to get some self-defense rounds that you can use, so after 1 or 2 rounds, hopefully either your attacker's stopped and they're not coming at you anymore. You want something that's going to do the most damage so that you don't have to keep shooting. When you're carrying concealed, I prefer not to carry it off the body. I want it on my body. So a lot of women will carry it in their purse, and when you carry it off your body, it opens up some other factors that you have to be concerned about. One of them is going to be, kids getting into your purse, or somebody snatching your purse and stealing it. They open that up and there's a gun in it, so they just took your gun. So when I'm carrying, I want it to be secure. And if it's off my body, like in a purse or a briefcase or a backpack, it's not secure. I like something up against my body, on my holster, something that I know I've got and somebody's not going to steal. And when you're carrying concealed, it's going to be less likely for them to steal it. There are things that you can think about with holsters. There's some holsters that have different safety features where it'll keep somebody from pulling it out of the holster, things like that. When you're carrying concealed, that's not as big of an issue because you don't have to worry about, people don't know you have it, so you shouldn't have to worry about them grabbing it and trying to pull it out of there. The big things that you want with a holster, you're going to want a holster that covers the trigger guard, so that you put it in here, you go to reach in your pocket or go to scratch, you're not accidentally getting in there and pulling the trigger. So you want something that covers the trigger guard, or if you bend over and something pushes up against your shirt, it's not pushing up against your trigger. So you want something that covers the trigger, 1. 2, you want something that is going to keep it concealed and keep it secure. You don't want to bend over and have it fall out. You don't want to jump and it fall out. You don't want to get in a hurry in a situation where you're running because you're scared and it bounces out of your holster. You want something that's going to hold it in your holster and keep it secure. So you don't necessarily need a holster with a strap over the top of it, something with a button or latch on the side of it. But whatever you have, you want it to keep your gun secure so you're not going to lose it. I prefer to carry that way. Like I said, I know a lot of women that'll carry it in their purse. I know people that have had it in their briefcase. So those are some things to think about. With me, I do like to have it on my body because I know it's secure, I know I've got it, and I know somebody else ain't going to walk off with it that way. So we just got done talking about kind of with handguns, when you're carrying concealed. You want to make sure it's secure on your body. You don't want people to know that you have it. And when it comes to law enforcement, if they contact you, you need to let them know you have that, because you can be charged with a crime if you hide that from them, if it's concealed and they can't see it, and you're not permitted to. A lot of states have concealed carry permits that you can get. There's some states that are constitutional carry, they say, which basically means you don't have to have a permit. They'll let you carry concealed without a permit. And there's more we can go into with that. However, with or without the permit, you get pulled over by law enforcement and you got a gun. If it's concealed, you make sure you tell them you got the gun. A lot of times they're going to ask where it's at. What I would say, if the law enforcement officer's coming up there to talk to you and you're in your vehicle per se, just put your hands on the steering wheel. Just keep them there. When they show up, say they'll tell you what they want to tell you. You can let them know, hey, I'm carrying a firearm. They'll ask where it's at, and you can tell them and let them know that you have a concealed carry permit or whatever the case might be, so that they know that you're lawfully carrying. And then don't make any sudden moves. You don't want to get them alarmed. If your gun's on you, you make sure they know where it's at. If they ask you for you to get your information, say your insurance and registration, if your gun's in a glove box, make sure you tell them it's there. Then you ask them, can I move? Can I reach and get that for you now? And they'll generally tell you, yes, go ahead. If you've got it on you and you're getting your ID out of your wallet, tell them, hey, my gun's on my right side, my wallet's in your left pocket, your right pocket, whatever the case might be, and let them know, can I go ahead and reach for it? And then they'll go ahead and let you do that. But you don't want to be making any sudden moves and getting them alarmed. Let them know you've got a firearm. They'll ask where it's at. Let them know that you're legally carrying. Hopefully you are. And don't make any sudden moves, and ask before you move.